Hey everybody. Alright, I took suggestions on Instagram for this week for what characters everyone wanted me to draw, and the one I chose to do this week is Spawn. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you all how to draw Spawn. Alright, so I'm going to start, like I start everything else, with a little circle to place my head. And I'm going to continue coming down here to the chin. Alright, so now we got the head placement here. Now Spawn's really cool. He's got this huge cape that's almost, sometimes the way that's drawn, it's almost like a character to itself. And he's got all these spikes and chains and all this stuff all over. So we're going to see how much we can fit in here. I like to keep it simple for the most part, but I might add a little bit more detail on this. Alright, so here now I'm doing this oval to kind of place where the neck is going to be for this pose. I'm going to have the shoulders. And this is another bigger oval that's going to kind of be the upper part of the chest here. If you want, you can go ahead and bring it all the way through if you want, and we'll come up and tighten up the lines later. Got this center line in the chest. Go ahead and throw one shoulder right here. It's going to be back there, and this other one's going to be right here. Alright, so we got the circle for the upper part of the chest, so the upper body. And then we're going to come down to the rib cage, to the rest of the waist. And this is going to kind of be the waist right here. This is the back part of the back in the rib cage, because the rib cage comes all the way around your back. But so now we have this center line. This is going to come down here to the crotch area. So now we have the shapes for the upper body here. And don't forget, if you guys haven't hit the like button and subscribe yet already, why don't you go ahead and do that if you'd like to see more videos. I would really appreciate it. It really helps spread my videos. And also, if you have any suggestions for other characters you want to see in the future, go ahead and drop those in the comments too, and I'll add those to my list. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the legs. We're going to have this leg right here, his right leg on our left, is going to be bent. So we've got the shape right there. You kind of loose with the pencils if you want to, and you can kind of tighten it up later. Okay, so the reference image I pulled up was from Spawn X, which was some kind of animated property that I don't really know too much about, but the image I found was really cool. He's got like this big boot on one leg. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that on here. Take this big, huge piece, and then have his foot coming out of the bottom of it. Alright, now I'm going to put, I'm going to start this other leg coming out, and it's just going to be kind of coming straight down. You can probably see a little bit of the back side right there. So we're going to come to like this point about right here on both sides, and then start the curve in the other direction towards the knee, which we're going to put right here. And I'm just going to do like a little diamond shape for the knee, but not like a full diamond shape. I'm not going to close it. Just going to do like a line here, line here, line here, and then a little bit right there. Alright, I'm going to draw this line down just to kind of help keep me coming straight down for the lower leg. Do the calf muscle on this side, then also do it on this side. This is going to come down to like the ankle. Now you're going to have the rest of the boot come down. Now you can't always see the ankle through you're not going to be able to see the ankle through the boots, but it'll help you to place the foot. So I'm going to put that down here and then do like another line right underneath the bottom of the boot to kind of be like the sole of it. Alright, now let's go back to the arms. So I'm going to have this right arm of his on the left side. I'm going to have that holding a sword. So I'm going to go ahead and put the hand out here. And then I'm going to connect the hand to the rest of the body by, a lot of it is going to be obstructed because he's got it back behind him. His elbow is back here somewhere. So we've got to obstruct it a little bit. Alright, so now we've got this hand in here. And I put this, he's got these little wrist, these gauntlets on here. He's got them on each hand. I'm going to put them on each hand. I'm going to put some on his legs too, but that's what this is right here. It's just lines and then a curve connecting it because it's going around the arm, so it's going to be curved. It's not flat. All right, now let's do this other arm. I'm going to quickly, so this is the shoulder right here. I'm going to have his hand kind of extended, but I'm just going to put these shapes in here. I'm going to come back and do a little bit more to these in a second, but I'm putting them here right now to help me place where I'm going to put the hand. So I'm going to have his hand just, he's going to be kind of like, he's got like that green, like those blasts or whatever he shoots out. I don't really know too much about Spawn, his powers. I mean, I'm familiar with his look and everything, but he's got some kind of green gas or venom or something that he's got coming out of his hand sometimes. So put his hand right there and then bring that down here. And now we're going to put a bigger one of those little gauntlets on this side. So we got a curve here because remember it's going around the arm and it's not flat. These lines on the side and another curve at the bottom. Now we can kind of go and put in the bicep. So it's, since his arm is bent up, it's kind of flexing the bicep. So we're going to have it come into that peak there and then the bottom of the arm down here. You can see a little bit of the tricep right here. Alright, so now we've got that arm in there. So now we can start adding the details of the costume. First I'm going to start with, I'm going to put this sword in. That might be the easiest place to start. So got this little spot right here that's kind of like the part of the sword separating the blade from the hand. I'm going to put some spikes on it and have it coming down here. And I've seen tons of references to Spawn holding different crazy swords, so you can kind of get crazy with your imagination with these, but I'm going to just do one. I'm going to have this curve here, and then I'm going to do like a backwards C right there, and then bring it to this point up here, and just do a curve, and then one more smaller one at the bottom. So that's a pretty wild sword, but it looks cool. Okay, now let's move on to his cape. So his cape is I'm gonna put a circle here and a circle here because these are gonna be these two little metal skulls connected to the chain that's gonna hold his cape in place. So I'm gonna place those as circles right there so I know where to draw the cape from. And the cape is just kind of, it's huge. So this line here, and then a curve, and another line connecting, coming back down to here. Then we're going to have one going behind him that's going to be connecting the two sides. So here's another curve, and another one. So now we have like the top part. Here's a little tip on how to draw chains that I've used in the past when I'm drawing a character like Spawn or Ghost Rider. So first, connect them from like point A to point B where you want to connect the chain. So I got it right there. And come down a little bit and do the same thing right here. So now you've got this rectangle, this curved rectangle, so it's not just straight across and it looks like it's resting on them. So what you want to do is to figure out how long you want like each length of the chain to be. Now there's probably only going to be able to 3 to fit between here because of how small this is, so I'm going to make it a little bit longer like this. Okay, so now you kind of have where they're going to end. Now in the middle of each one you want to put these little lines, and actually, yeah, that's right, you don't have to put one here though. So this is going to kind of be where you connect them in the middle. So you're going to do like a smaller rectangle to connect the chains, and now these ones on the end are going to have these open spots, and there's going to be like a little spot between each one, and that's how you do to where like they're not connecting, but you have these these chains now, and it instead of drawing them all individually, you can draw it as a bigger shape and then start putting the details in, so it helps because there's only really two in the middle they're connecting, since there's only three, and then the other parts of the chains are going to connect to these skulls. All right, so let's go into his face real quick and do his face while we're up here. All right, let's do some curves for the eyebrows. Now, like most masked characters, you can't really see like a nose or anything, but we're going to put the eyes in. And let's use that to do the shape of the face. Can't see Spawn's ears or anything, it's all covered. He's got a damaged face. I think he has cancer, is that what it was? Or he's dead? Something like that. But his eye design is a little bit like Venom's. So you have a point here and a point at the bottom. The bottom I'm just kind of bring to a point right here to the side, and it's going to come straight up. And then this part's just going to curve around, a lot like how you would draw Venom's eyes. And so now we've got his face. We're going to come back and do more of the cape in a second, but we're going to start adding some details first. So now we've got this spot for the belt in here. We put this in here. Now if you want, you can do a skull on the front of the belt too, which we're probably going to do here. These small curves at the teeth, like little fangs at the end, and just put one eye here, and then just start putting pouches in there, because he's got some pouches on there. Spawn needs plenty of pouches, right? Have one on the side, put a button on the front of them. All right. And now he's also got this, it's like a big M shape almost comes on his chest and goes all the way down to right here to this point, and then comes back up on the other side, and it makes like a giant M. And it kind of comes to his back, across the back of his, like the back and the rib cage area. So we've got that on there. Now we're gonna he's gonna have some more pouches on his leg, because of course you need more pouches on your leg right here for all those other tricky to carry objects. Maybe he needs ammunition for his weapons, I don't know, but okay. So now we've got the pouches. Now we're gonna start putting these spikes in. Well, actually, let's do these skulls up here real quick. You can do the same thing you did on the belt if you want. Come down to a point on both sides, then have the teeth across, and then put an eye here and an eye here. You can kind of get a little creative with those if you want to make them look differently, but it's up to you how detailed you want to get on something like that. I keep the mantra of the simpler the better. That's just how I like to draw. All right, so now I'm going to put some more rings on his foot to put some spikes on there. Now remember, it's a 3D shape. That's why it's curved and not flat. So it goes around the shape of the leg. Alright, so now let's start adding some spikes. So for spikes on the side, those are the easiest ones to do. You just do a curve on this side. You bring it to a point and to a point. It's like a triangle, but it's got a curved base. For the ones that are straight on, it's almost just like a circle. And you could add like a little line for like a little bit of detail, but really it's just a circle. But the further you get away from the straight on shot, the more pointed to the side it's going to be. So that's why this one on the side is completely to the side, and this one maybe not as much, and this one's kind of behind the outside, so you can barely see a little bit sticking out. But just keep that in mind when you're doing the rest of these. Just kind of experiment with how far turned they are, because that'll help you with perspective and angles and stuff. And there's tons of cool Spawn reference on the internet from comics and stuff that will help you be able to see what it should look like. So I'm going to put more spikes on here. You can kind of just get crazy with them if you want to. Put some on here too. And of course he's got them on this big old boot down here too. Maybe put some big ones on that. The thing is, having all these spikes has got to be dangerous for him bending his legs like this. He doesn't want to clip himself. Alright, so now we've basically got this done. We just want to finish doing the cape. So you just put like little flowing sections of the cape everywhere. Like I said, it's almost like a character to itself sometimes, depending on how it's drawn. So you can just draw it everywhere if you want to. Covering up this shoulder here. Alright, so there we have Spawn. Thanks everybody for watching, and don't forget, if you'd like to be notified with new videos, please subscribe to see my new videos, and let me know in the comments any characters you want to see drawn on these weekly videos or any other topics you want me to cover in other videos. I would love to receive your suggestions, and thanks again for watching.